Hi and welcome. In this video I'm going to be changing the battery in our 2018 Honda Pilot, whose battery just died. As you can see, it just won't start. So that will open up the hood. Now I'll open up the hood, just a little latch on the bottom. And here we have the bar. There's two places to put it, here, or if you want more space, you can do it way down here. The first step in replacing the battery in our 2018 Honda Pilot is to remove this protective area. I'm not sure what you call it, but it seems like you just pull it off. This was already loose, probably from dealer. Carefully pull on tabs. This just comes off, put it aside. Next step is to remove this air intake. Looks like there's two Phillip head type of screws. I saw that you got to be very careful not to drop it in there or you'll never get them back. So be very careful removing those. I have the Phillips screw. These are like plastic screws. And as I said, just be careful not to lose them inside. Put it aside for now. Do the second one. Put that one aside. So now I just lift up the air manifold. And I guess it just sort of, well, it was very loose. So I don't know if it's probably been removed before. And it just comes out of here. So now with that removed, you can see the complete battery. I'll have the two terminals to disconnect and this part here to remove that holds the battery in place. So I guess we just start with this piece by just removing it, I guess. Just comes off, and then it'll be two nuts to remove or loosen, and we'll do that step next. So using a 10mm wrench, I'll just loosen these two nuts. And these guys just kind of slide out, little hooks on the end. Next we can proceed to remove the wiring. Looks like another 10mm wrench there. So now I'm going to remove the terminals. I'll do the negative first. Again, on this Honda Pilot, it's a 10mm wrench to remove. So here's the negative, just put that aside. And secondly, the positive. Carefully remove the positive. Come up fairly easy. It'll give you a lot of room here, but here we go. Next, we have a plastic cover that has to come off. Just snaps off. Give you a lot of room. Put that aside. doesn't look like the battery has a handle, so we'll just pull it out best we can. There's the original battery. So here's the original battery from Honda. Ours is at 2018, so it's lasted 6 years. Pretty good in the Arizona heat here. So now I'm going to take this battery to AutoZone to get a replacement, and then when I get back, we'll do the installation. Just got back from AutoZone with the new battery. Now we just have to place it in. Just make sure you get the positive and negative terminals oriented properly. Let's take this plastic off. I guess I'll leave it loose for now. So we'll drop that in carefully. This one has handles. Fits in there pretty nice. Next step should be the cover. So next step is to put the battery cover back on. It can only really go one way. So it's a snug fit, so we just snap it in there somehow. Okay, then make sure it snaps in tight. Okay, that's in there nice. Next step, anyways, there's also an arrow on the cover to point forward. Next step is to put back the bracket. Again, it has an arrow also, so you can't get mixed up, but if you remember when you took it off, facing the front, these things you gotta place in there. Might take a little doing to get it back into the hooks. I'll get a light to help me out. And it's time to go in there sideways in a hole. Easier to loosen them a bit more. That one's in. Just sort of go in sideways and twist it into. Okay, looks like it's in there nicely. I just get the wrench now. Again, 10mm wrench. Deep socket wrench would go much better. You'll just carefully keep tightening it. This one's a little bit hard. So now that's nice and snug. So AutoZone didn't have the little felt pads, which I usually put on, but of course there wasn't any before. So I did get the terminal protective grease to put on, so we'll do that first. Put some on both terminals. Remove the plastic cover off of the negative terminal. Next step will be to connect the positive terminal. Do positive first so that if you happen to short this out, but everything seems to be plastic here, so shouldn't be an issue. tight enough. Don't over tight. It's all set. Add the cover. Next up be the negative terminal. Something I should have mentioned, probably be wise to wear safety glasses in case there's ever a spark or a piece of metal flying. So we'll do the negative first. So now I'll connect the negative terminal. There's no cover on the negative. Next step is we just reconnect this little clip for these wires onto the terminal here. Snap it on. Now we're ready to install the airflow intake. So just make sure that it goes into, there's like a rubber gasket there. And we have these two things. I guess it's a little bit easier to align. Everything looks like it's well in place. Just line everything up and install these into the hole. Easy to bend them out, get them all in. Next is the plastic screws to hold that in place. They're just plastics, so you don't want to over tighten them. Those are the two screws now. Just before I do the final, I'll just make sure the battery's working. And now the next step is to install this piece. Because you have to make sure you get it below the hood release. So get that underneath. Get everything roughly into place. And snap it all in, I guess. Line them up. 1, 2, 3. Here, over here. So that's all in place now. So everything's back together. We just have to close the hood and we're all done. This now concludes this video of the replacement of the battery in our 2018 Honda Pilot. This should apply to all third generation Honda Pilots as well as second generation Honda Ridgeline trucks. Hopefully this will be helpful for some of you who need to do the same. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.